Hey people. We'll begin in just a moment. And let's start. Hi everyone. Thanks for joining me tonight. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. And I hope that you can hear me fine. I've tried to fix my microphone so that the volume is better now. And I can speak, with more ease. I don't have to struggle because I want to speak for about 2 hours. So if you can hear me, please let me know in the comments, but I'm glad that you've made it. I'll tell you for short what we'll do today, because last time we did something around the idea of character design. We've studied a bit the shape of the head, the form of the head. Today we'll go in a different direction, because why not? I felt like it. So what I want to do today is a bit of perspective. We'll go a bit into the rules of perspective, just lightly, just over the surface. And afterwards, from 8 p.m., so like in 1 hour, we'll make a little project. Project based on some buildings, but I won't tell you more about it until we get there. Until then, let me grab a sip of water, and I recommend you do the same. Yeah, that's much better. And now, let's begin as usual with a bit of warm-up. So, as we did last time on the first stream of this year, I went through some simple exercises where we warmed up our hand, the way we use it, the way we draw from the shoulder, specifically. So other than that, today I would like to do something a bit different, because we spent a lot of time doing lines, straight and curved and diagonal lines, stuff like that. Today I want to focus a bit more on doing the round shapes, like ovals and circles. So instead of going through all the lines that we did last time, I will simply start drawing, some lines, some horizontal lines, but with a bit of space in between them. Quite a bit of space. You'll see what I'm talking about in just a moment. I'll try to make them straight, but it's not that important. Let me check. Yeah, we got everything right. So you see, and also I'm trying to start on the canvas and also end on the canvas. That's a nice line. This one, it's fine. The idea behind this, and let's just make one. Yeah, there. The idea behind this is to just create some space for us to start drawing some of those oval shapes, the one I've been talking about. And as you will notice here, I'm trying to make them fit the place that I've prepared for them. And yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't really. But what matters is that we are practicing. And I invite you as well to grab a piece of paper, or if you have a tablet, turn it on and just practice with me. you can do the same exercises as I do, or you can do something else, something that helps you more, that you're more familiar with, or maybe that you want to learn. Each of us, has a different journey, and we are learning at our own pace. What's important is to keep doing it. And as you can see, it's quite difficult to, connect them. Yeah, at least for me. I can notice it in the majority of those cases. And that's the practice, behind it. The idea is to make it connect most of the times. Try to make it fit. Because when you'll be drawing in a project or something different, I don't know, something more important, where you don't have time to, do an oval for 60 times just to make it right. In that moment, you'll be thankful that you can make it like in 2 tries, maybe in 3 tries, or maybe in the first try. If you've done enough of this, if you have enough practice, and you do it regularly, you'll definitely be able to make it on the first try. And you'll be able to draw more, create more drawings in a shorter time. Okay, so we've done them horizontally. Now let's try to make them vertically. Okay? And that line went pretty bad. Oh, my hand is not listening to me, you see? You see? That's what we're talking about. Trying to make the hand listen. Yeah, very jagged. Let me do some more to warm up. And you can do the same if you feel like it. If you got them right in the first try, go with it. And start drawing the ovals. If not, repeat. I've decided that I want to do this for a quarter hour every day, every time we stream. It would be nice to do it every day though. But for now, I'm focusing on making this stream happen every week. That's what I'd like to do. I truly hope I'm gonna make it. What I can improve right now is I can schedule it a week before. This stream was quite a surprise, From nowhere, it appeared on YouTube and everywhere. I've sent some links. Thank you guys for checking it out. But the thing is, if I schedule it a week in advance, then it will be there, And some of you who have subscribed, you'll notice it. And maybe you'll think about it. I think it's good to schedule things in advance. Makes us more responsible. Yeah, so you see the ovals that I'm making. It seems like they get narrower and narrower. And I think that's because my hand intuitively tries to go horizontally with them. Not sure why, but some printable materials for people who want to follow along but not digitally. Oh, well, that would be a very nice idea. Thanks, Subliminal Clown, really. Yeah, that's a nice idea. To have some of those pages with the basic lines drawn with vertical and horizontal ones. Yeah, that seems nice. Thanks. I'm gonna do that. I'll put a pin in it. That's very nice. Thank you very much. Yeah, because for many years I've only drawn by hand. And it's wonderful. It's It's wonderful to draw by hand. From time to time I get back to it. If we get the notification. Right. Yeah. I mean, you do get the notification when I schedule it, I think. But also before I get live. But some people, I mean, don't have to make the notification, you know, to press the bell and everything. They can just see it in their feed, you know. It's gonna hang there. And if they want to, they can join. If you want to press the bell, that's great. And I'm gonna be very grateful for that. Because I'll be able to see you more around here. Now, let's see, we have 6 more minutes of this practice. So I think what we could do is a bit of an exercise of connecting the dots, you know? So we simply, you know, put some random dots on the paper. Yeah? And then let's try to connect them, but in a weird way, you know? Not in the straight way, the most logical way, but with a straight line, I mean. Let's try to do it like this. I'ma go... you see, I missed it. The point of this exercise is to try and start in one place and end somewhere else. And I remember now, because I haven't done this exercise for a long time, that the secret to doing this right is ghosting. Ghosting means you just go over the paper with the pencil and you don't press it, you know? You just go over where you want the line to be. And when you are ready, after like 4 or 5 of those ghosts, you press it on the paper. And in time, it should get better and better. So let me try with one of those simpler ones. You can see how I'm ghosting, right? Let's try. Close enough. Let's go with this one. I'm trying to go from left to right because it's more intuitively. Yeah, there we go. But it's more difficult. If you want a challenge, you can try from up to down or from down to up. Yeah, again. But what we're trying to do is warm up our hands, you know. Yep, close enough. Because we're gonna need them to draw later on. Let's see what else is in the chat. Yeah, that's a great idea. To have a link and you will just download it. Yep. I think I will implement that. I will make those basic sheets with the exercises that I'm doing from time to time. And you can just click it. It will be on every stream. It's very natural to do it. Such a great idea. Thanks. Now, let's see. For me, this was way easier on paper. Because digitally, you know, there's like a bit of a difference. You're not putting the tip of the pencil on the paper. Exactly, like it's hovering a bit, you know. But in time, I'm most sure that it does get better and quicker. Now I'm gonna try one of those difficult moves that I was talking about. You see? Of course, you can make it easier on you and just flip the canvas, like rotate it, and draw however feels more natural to you. That's the beauty of paper and of digital, because if you have a small enough paper, you can turn it around. But once you get to draw on bigger papers, if you paint, let's say, you won't be able to do that anymore. I think that's why it's good to exercise those kind of awkward moves. because you never know when you're gonna use them. And it's just a challenge, Connect the dots. Let's see if we can get at least one. There we go. Okay, we have 2 more minutes. I'm checking the clock from time to time because it's important to pay attention to that as well. All of us have things to do. We have different projects. We have jobs. And this is, for some people it's a hobby. For some people it's more than that. Maybe a job, maybe passion. What's important is to take the time to do it. Because once you get into the habit of doing it from time to time, you'll see you'll get better. And that really feels great, I think. That's one of the most wonderful things that we can feel, getting better at something. Oh, let me try one of those vertical nows. Oh, that was a bit better. Closer. Yeah. Not yet, but trying ghosting. Oh, there's another thing about ghosting on a digital device. The fact that your hand slips a bit. I think it depends on the device. I have a Wacom, like a Wacom Cintiq something. It has a screen on it, but it does slip. My hand does slip, and it's a bit harder to do that ghosting process. It's easier to draw a line and erase. It's way easier on digital, but on paper, once you've drawn the line, that's good. Annual leave, yes, Subliminal Clown. Enjoy the holiday. Enjoy your time off. It's really important to take time off from work. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now we've done about 15 minutes of those exercises. I think we can move on to the second thing that I have prepared for you. And the second one, as I said earlier, is about perspective. Let's see. Yep. Just relax, While you're on annual leave, you should relax. Don't have to think about anything. Then let's begin. Perspective, yeah? I'll try to explain some very basic things that I've learned as well some time ago. And those should help you create objects a bit more intuitively, I think. But we'll just get started, and please follow along. If you have any questions in the chat, please ask. It's very useful. I'm sorry we don't have a class on this, seeing you live and making you raise your hand and stuff like that. But if you have any questions, leave them there. And if you're watching this on a past broadcast, leave them as well. Leave the questions in the commentaries. I'm gonna read them, and I'm gonna answer them in a different video, in a different stream. Now, let's see. Now I'm using Shift, to make this a bit faster. But what I'm doing is just making this little, what should we call the shape, the thing, a little star or something. What this is perspective with one point of, what's it called? Oh, damn, I'm having it doesn't matter. It's perspective on one point. Let's call it like that. And this is what happens when we usually look down a corridor through a tunnel, you know, stuff like that. When you look down a street that has buildings on both sides, you usually see something similar to what I'm about to describe to you. And this kind of perspective is one of the most basics, because you just have to draw the horizon line, which is this one, and the point where you're looking at. Now I'm looking at the webcam, so if I had to draw the webcam, you know, it would be in the middle. In the middle of my horizon line, because I'm having the head tilted a bit, not tilted. But yeah, if you tilt your head upwards, the horizon line moves as well. It's the line that starts from your eyes and goes perpendicularly to them, just in front. So now, if you want to do an imagination exercise with me, we can think about the horizon line being somewhere, like you looking somewhere naturally for your head. So if you're like 170, 1.70 m tall, you will have the horizon line at 170. This is just a general, general number, so that we have something to work with. Then the line of the actual land, of earth and terrain, right? It would be at the zero height, let's say. So everything you see above, it's what you'll see in between the line of sight and the horizon, like the bottom line of the terrain. And now the interesting part is that if you try to draw some more lines, just do it randomly, down here, but don't go over the terrain line. Just draw some here. You will notice, if Photoshop didn't create those ugly diagonal connections, you have to press once so that it doesn't do that. If you notice, we have something similar to a grid that's been placed here at the bottom, right? You see, this is a grid, and if you would turn it facing us, it would look something like this, right? You see, something like this. This is what would happen if you turn this facing you. Now, what's important about perspective is that we have some very simple, straightforward rules that help us in creating stuff that's realistical, right? If you want to make objects in this plane, right? If you want to make a cube, let's start with the most basic, a cube. You won't know where to place the cube. Like, where do I put it? How do I put it? What happens with the cube? How does the cube work? Let's go through this a bit. So, there's a simple rule that states that half the distance is equal to half the size. I think that's the one. So if you were to split this, or maybe, place a line here that is, let's say, 2 meters away from us, right? If you were to place an object 4 meters away from us, you would have to take this line and split it in half, and then draw another one at that distance, that half mark. Okay? I'm gonna make another layer, so this is a little easier to visualize. Okay? And then this distance would represent 4 meters. It's quite simple, right? Then you want to go further. 8 meters. Let's say you grab this line, you cut it in half, you add it up, and then you draw above. And that would be an 8-meter distance from us, from the viewers. This is how you basically create many things that are realistical. If you want to, I don't know, place a door nearest to you, and then you want to make another one a bit further away, but you want to make it seem real, then you can use this rule, this very simple rule, to measure things in perspectives. Now, let's move a bit towards how to actually draw something, how to draw an actual object in this space that we have here. And for the purposes of this exercise, I will keep that 8. I will draw another one here at the half distance again. It's probably more like that, you know, to keep the proportions. And I'll use this. You see, I drew it randomly because it gets smaller and smaller. So yeah, that taken out of context would sound very nice. Now, moving on. Let's create the cube based on what we drew so far. So let's make it with blue so that we can see it easier. And let's say that the cube is placed with one side towards us. We can start by drawing the face of the cube. The face of the cube would be something like this. And as I said, it is facing us. Now, what's cool about perspective is that we have this point that I was talking about, the one where you look straight at. If you connect anything in the drawing with the point, it will follow the rules of that perspective that you've created, you know, the basis of the perspective you made. So if you connect this with this, then this would represent a straight line, as well as this and this. Oh, let's follow. There we go. And now to create the actual cube, we'll have to cut it somewhere, because now it goes to infinity. So to cut it, you just pick somewhere, let's say this distance, right? And just draw vertical and horizontal lines. Because no matter what, once you've set this kind of perspective on one point, if you draw vertical and horizontal lines, they will stay the same no matter the distance. So everything that's horizontal to you, like this line over here, you know, this will remain the rule for everything that's horizontal to you. You will simply draw it like that. And that's the same for vertical stuff. This is very useful to draw the kind of corridors I was talking about. And now you see the cube, right? Yeah, let's split it in some planes. Those are the planes of the cube. We have one here, and we have another one here, and another one here. Okay. Now let's try and draw an actual corridor. Okay. As I said in the beginning, I will turn the opacity down on these so that it doesn't bother us. Also here. And we can simply go by deciding how long do we want the corridor to be. Let's say we wanted something like this, and you know, something like that. Also, there are some rules that I don't actually remember right now. That's pretty funny, but yeah, I've studied this for a long time, but I don't remember them now. Regarding the height, because you can, of course, draw everything really correctly, you know, having all the sizes right, everything in order. But that's not the purpose of our exercise today, of the practice that we're doing today. So let's decide that this will be the pathway of our corridor. Now, the horizon line doesn't have to be there. It can move further and further on. So I want the horizon line to be somewhere around there, and the corridor to have this kind of shape, you know, curved. And now what I'm going to show you is how to make this kind of corridor tunnel, right? Let's say there's a door here at the back. The door will have the rules that I told you about, you know, the vertical and horizontal lines, they will be the same if they are parallel to you. So that's very easy to draw. But what's more interesting, let's say, is that we can actually decide on the height of the door from this point. How can we decide? Because we said that this point is the one that goes from our eyes towards the horizon, right? And that means 170 in this case. That means this door, if we place it on the horizon line, is 170. You see? It's pretty simple actually. So now, if we want to make a door where we can actually step through, we can make it a bit taller. Have a more beautiful handle. There we are. So now it will be a bit bigger. If you want to take percentages and stuff, you can say that, you know, it's a third bigger and a third taller, I mean. And then you'll make some calculus and you'll determine it's 2 meter something. If you want to go there. And you can go there. Hello Dag. Welcome. Welcome to the drawing stream. Now, moving on with the perspective. If we simply connect some random points, right, with the middle, we'll get that tunnel feel, the tunnel vibe. You see? Let's, oh, there we are. And to make it actually feel like a tunnel, we'll probably have to add something. Now we can hide those, yeah. And now simply let's go with that. Simply add some details that tell us that this is a tunnel. So maybe like some rocks here at the bottom, you know. It's one of those dirty maintenance tunnels that are not usually very clean. And the rocks are bigger towards us and smaller as they go further along. We follow the same rules. Everything that moves further from us becomes smaller. Smaller and smaller. Until it disappears in the middle of the horizon. Of the horizon line, maybe. It disappears in that dot. Now, what else could we add to create this tunnel-like vibe? actually some walls, right? And if we want to make some realistic walls, you know, we go with the same rule. The horizontal, that's parallel to us. And then we follow an arc, right? Yeah, this arc may be a bit too big. It seems a bit smaller there. But, yeah. For the purposes of this exercise, it's important just to figure out how it looks. How does it look more realistically? How can we make this pretty naturally? Without too many rules. You know, we're keeping things simple. As I said, we can go into more detailed rules, but I don't see the point, really. Especially if you're just starting out. It's important to know some of the basics, right? And yeah, it looks pretty much like a tunnel. And now if we add some lamps from the ceiling, definitely complete it. The tunnel vibe. And the lamps will follow the same rule. You know, they will be placed on the same line that is connected to that center spot. But they will be smaller. You have to take into consideration that they shrink in size. And you know, that's what I'm talking about. You can go into very much detail with this, but you can just do it randomly as well. Make it feel right, and it should be good enough. If you add enough atmosphere, if you put enough soul into it, it should be fine. That's the most important thing when you start a project like this or draw something, is to be present, you know. Put your heart into it. It doesn't have to come up right, doesn't have to be good. Just has to have some soul behind it. And that can be sensed, that can be seen. Okay. Now, yeah, let's just add some random warning sign, and we can move on and show you something different. I'm gonna quickly try to show you perspective, but with 2 points. Again, same rule, we draw the horizon line, but now, instead of placing just 1 point where we're looking at, we're gonna place 2 at the extremities. And you'll ask me, right, why are we placing those points if we still see in one place, like in one spot, let's say? If you focus your attention, right, and you can only see one certain pixel of this universe. Well, in this kind of perspective mode, you would not only take the point, like in the middle point, the one where you look at, but you will create a line where you look at, a vertical line from top to bottom. So let's say that I am looking here, then I will create a vertical line in that place. Why? So that everything will come naturally from now on, like you'll see. Because now, on this line, we can connect with any of those points, any number of lines. And we will create a different kind of grid, quite different. I'll make this a bit bigger because I don't like how small the lines are looking. Okay, and this has to be pretty clear for everyone. Okay, right, so we've done this, right? We've drawn the lines, but now what you can imagine this is just a huge cube that has this as a side and this as another side going to infinity, right? You can think about it as a courtyard, yeah, with 4 walls, right? This is one of the walls, this is another wall, and we are a viewer looking at one of the corners of this structure. Why it usually starts with something like this when you're doing a perspective on 2 points? Because it's easier to fit anything inside this area. Because this area now has some very strict rules. The rules are as follows. If you want to draw, let's say, a line that is parallel with this one, then you have to connect with that point. So if I decide that I want to draw a line that's actually there, you know, I move the point a bit to one side, to this side, and I connect with the dot. Nothing simpler than that. And the same goes for here. If we want to make a line like that, we decide that there's a point on the right somewhere, you know, somewhere in this general area. Let's say it's there, and then you connect it with the dot. And this can happen for so many times, an infinity of times. And now, if you think about it, you can do the same on the other direction. And you can make some more lines that are connecting everywhere. Okay? Good. Now that you see how we can create those helpful lines, right? You probably will notice that just as the exercise before, we have created this massive grid. And the grid will help us to build anything from it. The rules about those lines, you know, differ. You don't have the horizontal line that helped us earlier. But what you do have this time is the vertical line. That remains the same. So everything that is vertical will be drawn as a vertical line. So if we want to, you know, lower the opacity of this and draw on top, if we want to draw a little cube, starting from, let's say, this square, right? This one, the one that's on the grid. It's probably this one or something, maybe this one. Anyway, if you want to start with this and draw the cube, all you have to do is raise some beautiful vertical lines from the corners. And now we would like to make it realistic, right? How can we do that? We can base our decision on intuition. Okay, so we can say, yeah, let me think how a box looks in perspective, and you know, it should be something like this, right? It should close up something like that. Or if we don't want to go by intuition, there are some rules that I forgot, but I will tell you this. You have to connect the dots in the same way. Yes? In exactly the same way, doing exactly the same thing. And the cube, it should look about right for your perspective. Now that I look at it intuitively, I can say this is not a cube. It's too short. Should be a bit bigger. Should be something like this, maybe. Perhaps. Or maybe this is a bit too tall. You know? How can we say? Well, there is another rule that I can show with you that I remember. And next time you can go through some more detailed rules. This was just an improvisation, you know, to see some of the basics, the real basics. But what I want to show with you next is that we can find the middle point of this cube by connecting the corners. Because when you connect the corners in a square, you'll find the middle. And by doing that, we can simply find halves, you know. Then you make some more diagonals, you find another half, and so on and so forth, so that you can create more realistic drawings. And you can actually measure stuff up. And there we have it. If you connect it with that point, and you connect this with this, somewhere along the lines, you'll find the center of the cube. And this can be with dotted lines, right? Because you don't necessarily have to see. Those are invisible lines. What we will notice is just those faces. Yeah? This face and this face. Right. We've gone through these basics of perspective with two-point perspective, I guess it's called. And now what I want to tell you is just some random facts, you know, random stuff. That you can have perspective with 3 points and 4 points, I guess more as well. But I never had to do anything with more than 3, I guess. I've done an exercise with 4 once. It was fun. But yeah, when you're talking about perspective with 3 points, imagine that, yeah, you have the 2 points here, but you don't have the vertical line anymore. You don't have the rule with the vertical. You have a point somewhere there, you know, and you have to follow that as well. So let's try to draw a cube in this kind of perspective. Okay, let's start by connecting, right, the dots, and then decide how big it will be. Yeah, then again make it big so it's visible, right? And now we have to connect with that dot. That's the rule. That's what 3-point perspective says we have to do. Maybe just connect it there. And yep, the cube should end somewhere here, I guess. Yeah, might look a bit strange, and that's normal, because this 3-point perspective is used especially when we are talking about very tall buildings, like, I don't know, Empire State Building, the Dubai Tower, stuff like that. And you usually have those two dots quite far away, and then you have one dot which is far as well, because those lines, you don't normally see them that clearly. If it's a really tall building, you probably, let's imagine this dot is somewhere, somewhere there in the darkness of the canvas. So let's simply imagine that what you'll be seeing would be, a line that goes up, but a bit to one side, a bit diagonally, and then you have another one that goes and follows that dot, yeah? And the third one that does the same. And now, if we want to connect some dots, there you have it. The tall building effect. When you look up towards a building, you break the rule. You break the two-point perspective rule, and you can just imagine, right? So yeah, what I said earlier, that's wrong. You don't see this only on tall buildings, you see this on everything. You just have to look up. Right? You can imagine the windows and everything. And some lady or fellow putting some towels, hanging some towels, And yeah, spending a wonderful night outside, relaxing. Right. Now, yeah, it's almost the 1 hour mark. So I would like to take a short break now, because it's important for us to take short breaks. Remember that. Every hour, it's good to stand up from the chair, step out, breathe, do your natural needs, like go to the bathroom and everything like that, drink some water. And then we'll be back with the little project that I have prepared for you. So I think I'll be back in about 5 minutes, maybe earlier, but somewhere around that period of time. Have a nice short break, and I'll see you right away. And we are back. Hello again, everyone. This was a really short break, so, for any means and reasons you can take a longer break. It's important that you feel it's the right break for you. Now, as I said, we'll move on to something a bit more interesting. And that is the little project. Now, let me open up what I have prepared for you. Let's make this happen. Let's make this work. And if I check it out, it should be here. There we have it. Oh. There we go. Okay, so what's the little project about? I've decided that because we talked a bit about perspective and stuff like that, we were pretty short, but it was general stuff. I wanted to draw a medieval building, and I found some images online, some of better quality, some of poorer quality. But what's important is this is for inspiration purposes. So what I want to do, based on what I learned and what we learned today, try to do one of those little buildings in 1 hour. Not exactly the building, but let's get some inspiration based on it and create something of our own. So what I will use for this drawing is the classic 2-point perspective, right? Just decide that there are some points somewhere. Doesn't have to be exact, just for general purposes, for my orientation, I've decided that the dots are far away. And then I want my my corner of the building, because why not? Let's use a corner, to be here. I want it to be here. There we have it. Now, I have a curiosity. If I turn it to full screen, you don't see anything anymore. You don't see layers, you don't see colors, you don't see anything. Okay, I still see the layers and everything. So I'll just keep it like that, so you can see as well what I'm doing on this side. It probably won't be much, but I'm changing layers from time to time. Now moving back, I want to draw something that has a little area for the people to go outside. I think it's gonna be residential. It's gonna be a little house, maybe 2 floors or 3, like this one. Really like the roofs on top of this. Now this is more towards what I'm familiar with, the type of houses that are found in our country, like in the medieval towns. But yeah, for today I think I'll go with those more Germanic types of houses, the ones that use a lot of wood and whatever in between the bricks. Yeah, many bricks. So yeah, this one this is a very cute one. Chicken and beer. Yeah, it's a pub, and it has this huge barrel on top of the exit here. It's nice to just look at other people's designs and ideas, how they gathered information and put it together. 'Cause that's the same as what we're doing right now, gathering information from stuff that we like or stuff that we don't like. You can gather information and inspiration from that as well. From anything, really. Okay, I think I've decided that I'd like to, as I said, do something that has a nice area in front of it for people to go outside, to stay on a bench, to watch kids play and stuff like that. So now when I drew this first line, I've decided that my point of reference for this part is somewhere around here. You can see me draw in the blackness, right? Not actually drawing there, but you get the point. And for the other one, let's put it somewhere there. Because the furthest away you place it, the bigger the object you can create, and it still would look realistic. So now we're talking about a house. I think this is quite okay. Again, if we did a vase, this would fit the purposes, I guess, but it would be better if the points, those points of reference, the 2 points, are farther away than in this case. And I want this house, as I said, to have 3 floors, right? So I'll go 1, 2, 3. I've randomly decided that that's the height of a floor. And so a person will be like this tall or something. Yeah. If you're looking in your room and you can stand up and see how big is the room, how tall it is, then you can decide, okay, maybe you live in a castle and then the room height is this, and this is the human, the little human. Doesn't matter. This is, everything is based on the things around, right? Okay, so now that we are trying to get that point there, I'm just gonna draw one of those lines, struggling to find the point that I have created. And here I will use the rotate. Yeah, I will go with that, because I'm lazy. Indeed. I want to find the easier route for now. But I would like to hit that point, I would like to hit that dot. Yeah, close. We are close. But it's fine. Now, looking back. Oh. There. That looks a bit better. And yeah, that line is a bit off. But I will just draw below. There we go. So this is my 3rd floor, and I want to have some sort of roof over here. And now if I look at some references, let's see how the roof looks like. You can see here it's not going too far away from the building. Oh, I moved the images around. Here as well, it's quite nearby. Doesn't leave too much space. Here is more space, but this looks like a bit of a different house. But usually, they seem to have something interesting going on here. I guess nah, it's not for draining water. It's just sculptural. But yep, if we want to decide that this is the wall, then I think we can stop around here. And remember the dot, right? Trying to connect with the dot. And the verticals are verticals, okay? We still gonna use them. Now if you want to find the vertical there, you'll just have to connect with the dot, which is somewhere, and then connect again with the vertical, right? We're just making the basic shape of this little house. Let's say it ends there. I don't know. Maybe we can make it connect with this, right? And then connect, please. And then we can make it have only one floor over here. Okay, smaller, and with a roof that follows a different rule. Let's see if this works out. Almost, close enough. Okay. And now, what I want to do is make the roof come over here in front of the building. But more, yeah, a bit more, because we can make people stay underneath this roof. If you think about it, you want to make this like an adventure, you know. You wanna make it real. You wanna have life in your drawings. That's why your characters have to go through real life problems. They have to be faced with real situations. Or, of course, you can go the other way, just make perfect models, perfect characters. It's important to study anatomy, so while you're studying anatomy, you don't think about the story of the people that much, but more about how the organs are connected with each other. And right now, let's think about it. So the dot is somewhere there, and then we connect it like this. Okay, yeah, you see, I'm trying to keep in mind where the dot is. Off. I wanted this to connect. Let's see if we can trick it. Okay, so what we should do is we should have this be like that, right? Oh, no, lorem ipsum, go away, please. You as well. Yeah, I misclicked. Yeah, we want to make it look pretty realistic, so we can find the height, the real height. If we just connect that dot over there, the one over here, should be somewhere around there, and then you go connect that one. Oh, what's going on here? What kind of sorcery is this? Okay. So it should look like that. You see, if we work on intuition, we probably will get there. If you work more organized, you'll get there faster. That's for sure. Don't forget, above all else, to grab water. Blessed water. Oh, sorry about that. Hope that didn't feel really bad. Moving on. Yeah, we've made some general lines here, right? That was, well, we have this one. Oh. Okay, so what I want to do is have this little house. Oh, please connect. Thank you. Have this little house, like the entrance to be here, like something to happen here, but I don't know what. Maybe we can have a little balcony, you know, that's also covered by a little roof. The entrance here. This area can be used as a resting place, but it can also be used as a shop. Yeah, because they used to do that with their houses. They used to have shops as well. You had to, you know, be really efficient with your house, especially if you had something this big. Had to use it to its potential. Okay, so what I'm drawing there is simply a window. A window that I'm trying to make. I'm trying to create something that works. And I think if I follow the line like that, maybe it will look better, more realistical. There are some lines that can help us, like if we do this one, I think it's like that. Yeah. And then inside here would be the window, right? Somewhere. Yeah, we'll have the little window. Okay. We can have two of those. But I think we'll stick with one for now. We have to finish everything else. Right. Now let's make the entrance. So the entrance should be in the middle. Should be large. Big door. Big enough for anybody to fit in. For many people to fit in at once. So that you can invite many guests in this huge house. And it's a barn door now. Oh well. It has been decided. This will be the shape of the door. Okay. Now, some stairs. Let's make some stairs. Some small but useful stairs. Useful for keeping everyone who cannot step on stairs away from this house, which is very discriminatory if you think about it. There we go. The medieval times. Just add one stair for the sake of stairs. Actually, it's for the sake of keeping the house away from the street, which was very dirty during those times. Yep. And here they would have the area for the shop. This one, yeah, it could be lowered, I guess. You know, keeping it a bit lower than the rest of the house. Something like that, maybe. No, so it goes, but that's invisible, right? Yeah, so it would connect somewhere there. Oh, no, what's going on? Okay, I got it. Please, help. I'm stuck. Okay, there. It froze. Didn't know what was happening. And oh, where's the line? Where's the line? What's this line? Oh, okay. Yes, that's a random line. Okay, let's remove these. And this will be the useful one. Okay. And you can now, after you've done quite a bit of the drawing, you've placed most of the lines in the right space, you can now follow the lines that are surrounding the ones that you first placed. Don't have to follow those dots, the 2 dots anymore. You can simply just, you know, figure out based on what you're seeing around you. Because if the first lines are mostly right, then you can take your chance with the other ones. It probably will go pretty well. Let's continue. So here would be the market area, the place where this family has some stalls, and you know, they sell some vegetables. They have a barrel of I don't know, what can you sell in a barrel? Wool. A barrel of wool. And also it can have wine as well. Yeah, and a big door. This should have a quite big door, and it has to be rounded, of course. Of course it has to be rounded. Pretty big door, so that you can fit everything that you're bringing outside and inside, you know? Okay, so we have the entrance, which I will round. I will make everything more rounded, because I don't want this weird shape for the entrance of this medieval house. Make it more round. There. And here we can have a window. A window that will follow the same rules as before. As I said, follow all the other lines around. Okay, and it can be a bit to the back. And now if we look at those, right, you can see they are made in such a way that they don't leave too much space. Oh, I'm moving it again. They leave a bit here, but I'm talking about the real ones. You see? The frame of the window comes all the way to the wall. Oh. Yeah, I think we can go with some basic lines like this. General ones. Nothing has to be perfect, because nothing is perfect. Let's just learn as much as we can. That's the point, right? And there we have it. 2 windows. 2 of those. They look weird together. I want to split them apart. So I'm just going to grab the lasso, move one to one side, and the other to the other side. And they will probably look okay. Yeah, it looks like a proper house now. With the 2 windows and the mouth here. Yeah, we can have a couple more here. Yeah, those are, I don't know, the dormitories or something. The bedrooms. Yeah, make it. It has to be a bit smaller, you know. That's the only thing I'm thinking about. Has to be a tiny bit smaller. Okay, so now let's make the frame. And afterwards, you know, we'll lower the opacity and we'll clean everything up. Okay, so go here. There. As you can see, I'm using undo quite a bit. you just happen to get used to it when you're drawing with digital means. I guess you can avoid it, like forcefully try to not use it anymore. That's something that haven't gotten around to it yet. Okay, and we've decided that we want a balcony here. So, let's move it like to this side. Oh, I'm yawning. Oh, already. Oh, again with the text files. Go away. Lorem ipsum. There we go. Yeah, I've been awake for too many hours now, but I really want to do this. Oh, back away. I really want to do this because if you make a habit out of something, as I said earlier, it will get easier and easier with time to stick to it. Now you can figure out that, yeah, that's the length that we should pick, and then we'll go there. I was thinking of something. I don't know if you've heard about SCPs, but I've started reading quite a bit about them lately. I've been watching some videos. I knew about them for a long time, but yeah, I got more into it, and yeah, I was thinking it would be nice to draw some of the SCPs because they're supernatural in nature. Therefore, you can draw whatever you can imagine. Usually that's how the little texts are written, so that a lot is left to the imagination, you know. So yeah, I think I would like to do that someday. Draw some SCPs. I think they're very interesting. It's very nice to read about that stuff that's so detailed, you know. People thought about all the details and the connections between the little stories. Now this would be very fun for someone who has no idea what I'm talking about to listen to. But you don't have to listen to me. You can just draw. You can listen to some of your favorite music. The point is, you know, to gather around and try to make this happen regularly. Make this into a habit. And we have a little balcony. There we go. Something else that I've been planning to do, but after I get into the habit of going online weekly for those streams, something else that I would like to do is try to stream some games, because I have some on my list, games that I really want to play, like Disco Elysium. I think that's a big title. And I would really like to stream them. Because again, it would mean I would schedule it, you know. I would not leave it for some random day. And if I schedule something, then it means it's important. And I will be present into the game. And also, people can add to the stuff that I'm doing, commentaries and such. I think it's a very nice atmosphere. There we have it. A more realistic handle. And the little balcony, which will be made of wood and everything, you know. It's just a balcony for someone to go outside and shout at the people. Shout at the people walking by, you know. No clue what this balcony will be used for. But they wanted a balcony, I gave them a balcony. That's the rule. That's the golden rule. Okay. Now, I think we're done with the details. I mean, not the details, the sketch. We're done with the basic sketch of this sort of building, if we can call this a building. Yeah. Yeah, let's add some more of those. Yeah, just like that, basic. Okay. No windows on the first floor. Why? Because it's very important, and remember this. You don't want to see people going around your house, poking their nose about. And also you don't want them to see you while you're cooking, while you're preparing your wares in this warehouse. You want to keep a bit of secrecy, you know. The house is a private place. You have to feel nice when you're inside, with your family, with your friends. And I'm talking about all of those as if in medieval times they would matter as much as they matter now. I'm not sure they mattered that much. They surely mattered a bit, right? But I'm no historian, so I cannot say. What we can do is make that little thing that we saw in the pictures. Yeah? No, I'm gonna cheat. And I cheated. There we go. And something like that. Nice. And now for the roof. Oh, you know what would be nice? To add one of those here. Let's just say small window. Okay, maybe a bit smaller than that. It follows the roof. Goes like that. Right? Looks right, I think. Yeah. That looks pretty nice. Oh, and I'm gonna make those as walls, and we have a little bit of depth. It's important to add depth to your drawings. Yeah, a little window there, and another little window here. Different styles, of course, because this is a random house, and it has to be made by a lot of different random stuff. Now that we have the basic sketch, we have 30 more minutes to figure out how we can detail this. So what I like to do now is simply lose myself in the details, lose myself in drawing those little shapes that are present on the roof. Make it a bit more jaggy. Doesn't have to be perfect. As I said before, nothing is perfect. Except for the lines that have to be straight. Yeah. That's really what I need. Yeah, that's good. And here as well. Yeah, okay. It connected I'm happy. Doesn't matter. And then move on to one side and we continue. Little house. Yeah, I don't think. Right. Okay, so we can see that this could actually be a thing. It could be some wood or something that's placed on the outside to make it look better. You know, because usually it would have to have some structural logic, right? But now I'm drawing this house as if it were made of Play-Doh or clay, right? It's not too logical. It has some logic behind it, but not too much. Just enough. So I'm making those lines to point out the texture of the wood. And then let's make our little window here. So I'll try to stick to what we drew before, but correct it, you know, because that was just a sketch. Now this is the second sketch, and the second sketch is much more important than the first sketch. This is life or death, people. Remember that. Just wait until you see the third sketch. Oh God. That's where everything gets tricky. But I don't think we'll go there. No. We'll keep things friendly around here. Just first and second sketches, you know. When we'll get the third sketch, you'll know things are serious. And as you can see, I take all the time in the world to decide where I want my little lines to fall. Oh, maybe if I make the roof like this, it would be faster. This looks pretty nice. Oh. I really like this one, but it takes quite a bit of time. Yeah, you see the intricacies. Oh man, this must have taken a while. But I guess once you've done some of them, you can copy paste them. But in reality, it would take quite a bit of time. Okay, let's see. I think we can make them like this and make them still look good. Let's see, just like that. And then add some of those. Right? Yep, just like that. You can go both ways so that it doesn't look too monotonous. It's important to pay attention to details as well. you start from the big picture and you end with details. But I think you can make something really, really beautiful without going into details at all. And you can as well make something really amazing by spending a lot of time on details. Depends, of course, on the public you have and on what you like to do. First and foremost, that should be the most important thing. What makes you draw? What makes you grab the pencil and, you know, go crazy with it? And here, yeah, I think it's some wood here. Maybe, maybe not. Who are we to judge? Let's leave the rest of the roof, you know, I'll just draw some of those big lines, but nothing in particular because it would take quite a lot of time. And I want to move around to doing some of the first floor area. I'd like to go to that balcony, maybe figure something out with it. Yeah, now if you want to be correct all the way, you'd make those lines in one go, you know, and then you would erase the thing in the middle, you know, in between. But I'm not paying that much attention to that now. What I'm trying to do is give the general feeling of a roof. See? Just some details spread around. Okay, now, oh, I have an idea. Because I left this line here. I have an idea. What if we simply just bring this to the front? There are some houses, you know, like this, doing that. Yeah, just a little bit, but it feels a touch more medieval. Yep, let's go with it. So you see, the design doesn't have to be the same as you've started. You have an idea, go with it. Try it out, see what happens. This line will remain in that area, but here we'll have to consider that this goes to the back a bit, not too much. You see, just a bit. And then the connection is just the same here. Okay, now yeah, let's make the stairs go like this, and make them out of stone, because those people, they sell a bunch of stuff, they get rich pretty quickly. They are able to sell and to buy a lot of stone so that they build the foundation of this house. There we have it. And the balcony follows the same rule. You know, this little extrusion that we've made. Still have time? Yeah, I have some time left. I think we'll be able to finish. Perhaps. Just the second sketch, of course, not the final product. But that's why we are here, to learn. That's why I am here, above all else. And I truly hope that you're enjoying this stream, that you're either having fun with the drawing, or I don't know, you're cleaning around, you're doing some chores at the end of the day or at the start of the day. And yeah, thank you for being here. Really, it does mean a lot. So this looks pretty nice with the wood and everything. This is wood, by the way. Yeah, I think I got a bit tired of speaking. That's funny. But I think we can enjoy some moments of silence. It's important to be able to stay in silence while doing something, or simply, you know, a few minutes a day. Just turn all the notifications off and spend some time with yourself. Think things through. Decide what you want to do, or I don't know, just go through the emotions of that day. Go to the important thoughts that you've had. Just recharge, you know? Important to have some moments to recharge. I think it's important to have them on a daily basis, because otherwise, you know, the stress would pile up and everything would become more difficult in time. Hey, we have a little balcony, and I will like to place one of those hanging flower pots, you know? When you have a flower pot that's a lot smaller. Yeah, let me try and draw it. So it stays on one side, correct, and it's like a bucket, basically. It's like a tiny bucket. No, not that small. Eraser. Please listen to me. Okay. And you have it like this, and you know it's stuck to the wall or something. Then you have all those beautiful flowers that are just hanging from it. So if you clean it up like that, we can just, you know, add some flowers. Make it look nicer here. a little flowery bucket. It can actually be a bucket, you know. You can make it look exactly like a bucket. There. Now let's increase the size of the brush and move on with the rest of the building. Spent quite some time on the balcony to make it pretty, to make it suitable for this family. And I will go with what I said before, you know, the idea that, yeah, let's just make them with the frames right outside. They would have, you know, a tiny sliver of width to them, but other than that, nothing much. Don't know if I can turn off the thing with, you know, you draw something and then it just connects. Huh. I don't know if I can turn that off, but I will check it out. And I hope that until next time, next week I mean, that I will have those exercises prepared for you to download. That was a great idea. Thank you again, Subliminal Clown. And yeah, I hope that I can make it until next week. If not, I'm surely gonna make them, because I wanna have them also in the description, because I wanna do this every time, you know, and in the beginning it's important to warm up all the time. But apart from that, I'd like to add them as well to, I don't know, somewhere where you can see them all the time. Maybe I would make a little video on this channel just with the exercises. So anybody who wants can go there, check them all out, and then download from the description the little pages with how to do them or what to do with them. Probably notice that some exercises are, you know, just draw some lines on the empty paper, but some are different. Not everything is just like that. And with those as well, you know, draw something on the paper. Yeah, I can make a paper and say on this you draw vertical lines and maybe have some dotted lines that can help you along, and then make some diagonal lines and all of that. I think that could work out and would be helpful so that you get used to the motions. Okay, now we have some windows. Then let's make the big door, the entrance hall. No, give me back my orientation. Give me back my natural rotation. And this one, let's connect it here. Yeah, it's pretty good. There we have it. And this as well will have a little bit of depth, a tiny bit of depth. And there. So it looks more natural, so it looks more realistic. We talked about the importance of making it seem real, seem like, yeah, that door, it could actually be there. Let's make those handles really shine. There we have it. Well, the barn door is closed at the moment. I just noticed how I hold the pen while I was drinking. Big mistake. If you hurt your eye, then that's really, really bad. Won't be able to do much afterwards. But you would. You should be. You should manage to do anything that you can with what you have. It's important to take care. Pay attention. Yes. There we go. Connecting some more lines. Destroying some of my previous lines. Oof. That's why you should draw on multiple layers, kids. Don't do what you see me do. Do what you hear me say. There we have it. This window as well. I really like this shape. It's really interesting how they thought about making those tiny windows. Yeah, we can keep it like that. Don't have to add much more. You see, it's like it's inclined a bit. That's what it looks like. We have a bit more to go. So, oh, just like 5 minutes. Oh god, I thought it was 10 minutes. Good. Very good. Well, for those of you who follow the drawing, hope you're proud of what you've done. Because today you've practiced as well. You've spent valuable time practicing drawing. As long as drawing is something valuable to you, then that time as well was spent valuably. Let's continue. No, Vertical. Heed my call. Yeah, like the vertical trick. It's really, really useful when you're drawing in perspective. Right. And yeah, I cannot leave without making the barrel. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I'm a slave to the barrel. And also the table with vegetables on it or whatever. I'm not sure it's a table. But yeah, now it's a table. You can see. Some sort of table. Yeah. And it has... that line is too thick. Let's make it thinner. And what I want to draw here is that it has one carrot. There we have it. No, like that. That's a carrot. And underneath, we'll put some color and some of this green. Beautiful, beautiful. Just like that. Okay, so, oh, wait, not over yet. Not over yet. There, now it's better. Okay, so we have 3 minutes left. I think it's the right place to end it. I hope you've enjoyed this stream. I hope you've learned something important. Hope you've learned something that you will use from now on. Or if you already knew this, I hope the exercises helped, the practice helped, or whatever you did during this time while you listened helped you in some way. Other than that, wish you a great following week, right? Tomorrow is Friday, so yeah, have a nice weekend afterwards, and then nice couple of days until we will meet again. Hopefully next Thursday. I will schedule it in the weekend, hopefully for the Thursday. Yeah. So if you want to hang out some more, be there. It will be again the same time. For my time is 7 p.m. but for you it can be whatever time. So yeah, check out the YouTube channel and follow the schedule there. Other than that, thanks for being here and have a wonderful time drawing. Bye bye.